you're living your life purpose.
Yes, I say that, I go, you're actually on track.
Yes, because I believe 100% that we all are. If you're sitting here listening to us and you're breathing, is it you're living your life.
Yeah.
You're living your life purpose. Because so here's the thing, you can take that deeper into life purpose is to live life with full awareness that you get to experience everything that shows up for you. And so to your point too, is like if we're doing things that we love, that light us up, that bring us joy. And yes, let's face it, there are things that we need to do that are a wee bit mundane, the chores,
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Oh,
hi.
Hi.
Hi. I am really looking forward to our discussion today. This is our Deliciously Motivated Mindset podcast episode with Debz over there. That's Debz.
That's me. That's me. That's me.
And Moira over here. Today, we are going to be talking about life purpose. I really like talking about this topic. This is a juicy one. Life purpose, and what does it mean to you? This is an important piece too, because each one of us has the right to make up our own minds. And that's what we intend with this conversation, is to help people drop into an awareness of that whole topic, life purpose. But before we get into the juiciness of the tips that we're going to share and riff on today, before we do that, we like to do our wee assessment. Our PEMS assessment. And when we're talking about our PEMS, it's the 4 pillars of you: your physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. And what we do is we just give ourselves a number. We rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being discombobulated, chaotic, crazy, stuck, crazy making, and the 0
I thought you
is
said baby
zen.
making then.
Oh,
I literally thought you
making?
said, did she say baby making? I'm like, well,
She
that's
said
pretty crazy.
crazy making. That is
crazy
crazy.
making. I thought you said baby making. I was like, what? That's a 10 for me. Yeah, okay, right. I'll be quiet.
Well, that's
now.
where her head goes to.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then 0 is zen, peaced out, completely present, feeling calm and balanced and neutral. Deb's been saying that about of late about 0. It is neutral. It's like nothing, it's just in flow, being in the present moment. And we actually all have experienced all of those numbers up and down that scale and beyond this scale too. I don't know about you, but I've had instances where I was at a 20.
Yes.
So this is just an assessment tool. It's create awareness around where you're at. And it's a beautiful way to just acknowledge all the things that you've got going on internally and externally. So all that being said, so listeners, we encourage you to make a wee note of what your number is here, and then make a note or just check in with yourself at our halfway point, and then we're all going to check in at the end. The purpose of our conversations, obviously, is to take you from where you are and gently, lovingly soothe you down towards
gently,
that 0.
lovingly.
Yes, all of those. So all that being said, Deb, where would you put yourself?
I'm going to put myself as a 1.
Okay, so am I.
Oh, We haven't
Oh.
actually matched for a long time.
We
I don't
haven't.
think.
Oh no, I think we did just a week or two ago. There was one a week or two ago that we were really different. I remember that one. But I think there was also one that we were level 2. So here we are. We're both at a 1. So let's get this episode rocking and rolling. So Deb, what does when people, because I know that clients and students ask you, what is life purpose, or what is my life purpose, or how do I find my life purpose? Because I know I get
standard.
that a lot.
That's the standard. What is my life? I'm off my life purpose. What's happening now is not my life purpose. So you're going to say what is life purpose
to you? Yes. How do you see it? How do you frame it?
Do you know, funny, I hadn't actually thought, what is life purpose? That's a good one. Thank you for throwing me in the dark on that one. Let's just go there.
Throw life you into this one.
Yeah, life purpose to me is living to the fullest you can be. So what my life purpose, life purpose is when you're doing things that you love to do, and when you're doing things you don't love to do, you're still on your life purpose. So I guess it's just living life. Your life purpose is living life, and being, I don't really like the word okay, but being okay with every step. I think that's your life purpose. Would that be it? That's how I think, because I think, okay, there's things I love to do and there's things I don't love to do, but I know the things that I don't love to do are actually still part of my life purpose.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's actually living life.
It is.
Would that be, how would you?
So for me, I kind of go into this too, but the truth is, particularly when people come and say, what is my life purpose? I need to figure out what my life purpose is. And my answer has always been, you're living your life purpose.
Yes, I say that, I go, you're actually on track.
Yes, because I believe 100% that we all are. If you're sitting here listening to us and you're breathing, is it? You're living your life.
Yeah.
You're living your life purpose. Because so here's the thing, you can take that deeper into life purpose is to live life with full awareness that you get to experience everything that shows up for you. And so to your point too, is like, if we're doing things that we love, that light us up, that bring us joy, and yes, let's face it, there are things that we need to do that are a wee bit mundane, the chores, the cleaning up the house, or doing the dishes, those kind of things. But they all contribute towards the developing an awareness and acceptance and a sense of rhythm and balance around that getting to live this life. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. And then I just went, my favorite saying, one of my favorite sayings, because there's quite a few, but some I'm not going to ever repeat on a podcast, is it's on the way, not in the way.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of my favorites that you've shared.
And then it goes down to trust. So your life purpose, what does it mean to you, or how to get your life purpose, or all those things, is remembering there's a trust level, which is so big, and that trust is in capitals, but it's on the way, not in the way. And just even acknowledging that means you're on your life purpose. Even if you don't want, I don't want to do, like you just talked about things you don't want to do. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Well, guess what, Buttercup? It's yours. It's yours to deal with right now.
Right.
So it's all on the way, not in the way. You may not understand. And there's a thing that I say, it's an old-fashioned saying, is one door shuts, another one opens.
Right.
And I always go, can it not just be a glass door so I can see what's through it? And at the weekend, I saw somebody, or I read something, I don't know where it was, but it was like in the last few days, it said about when one door shuts and a window opens. And I went, oh, I like that.
Now
'cause
you
I
can
always,
see through this.
yes. And a window means you can choose if you're going through that door or not, is the other thing, or you can walk. And so I went, in my mind, I went, oh, I don't have to go through that door. Like, you can make those things. But I liked that it's a window and you can just peep it open or not. Because I do say, oh, one door shuts, another opens, which I understand. But I'm like, I just want to sometimes see what's in there. Can it not just be a glass door so I can see? But I liked that when one door shuts, a window opens. And window to me is a window of opportunity.
Yeah, I like that.
So I was like, oh, I quite like that, because that means I don't have to ask for the glass door each time. But it is that trust. It's on the way, not in the way. And I think trust is a vital one, probably in every single one of our podcast conversations. Trust is really important.
Hugely, huge. So here, the thing that I'm thinking of as you're talking about that, about the trust, is that when we are in a situation that, let's say currently you're in a situation where you're doing things or called to do things that you don't want to, or you don't like, or it's to take ownership for the fact that these things were created by you for you. They're not permanent, but it's like the accumulation or the manifestation of things that you thought, last week, last year, yesterday. And so because of that, you can tell a different story. You can say, okay, I don't have to keep doing this. Life purpose. So here's the other part around it, is that life purpose is not a destination. It's not something that you have to keep working towards and figuring out. You can keep getting, it's like polishing that stone, polishing that gem that is you. So yes, you're going to be hitting maybe some rough patches or some pieces that you maybe don't prefer so much, but it's all about the experience. And so to me, that is life purpose. What does it mean to you? It means celebrating every single step of the journey towards that self-mastery, self-actualization, self-tada-ness.
Yeah, right? I love that self-mastery. I think that's a real important part of that, with that ownership, self-mastery, because it is like your life purpose is yours to master.
Yes, 100%. But it's done in that whole process. I like that polishing the gem idea, right? That you is thinking of it being, I'm thinking of like crystals, how they get put through the tumbler to get polish them up. That's what you're doing.
We talked about that this morning. Well, not quite through the tumbler.
Life is the tumbler. Your purpose is you, the core essence, the gem. But it's already, that's the point, is it's already there. That reminds me of, I don't know who said this, but it was a sculptor who was asked how he was inspired to make these beautiful works of art from a big hunk of stone. And his point was, it always was there. My job was to clear away the pieces that was not that.
Oh, wow. I got that whole goosey. That's yeah. That's pretty magical.
Isn't it? And so that's what I think we all are doing.
Yeah.
It's already there. We're just discarding the pieces that aren't that.
Oh, I like that. But it is, yes, it's already there. You're polishing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna throw in the word comparison. One word. That's it. Oh, did we say grab your note-taking device and start writing these things down?
I don't know if probably we forgot. Sorry, people.
We both, I think we both forget that stuff. I just went, as I threw my pen down, I went comparison, and then I went, throw your pen down now, and then I went, I don't know if we've actually told you.
I don't think I forgot. Get your note-taking devices, pen, pencil, paper,
typing, whatever. So take some notes. So comparison. It's healthy to compare, but it's not healthy to continue, run your mind on it, rife on it, like go round and round and round in a circle. So I think you can compare and go, oh wow, look what Moira does. Like, oh, that's cute, or oh, I like that. and take bits of that, but don't go, oh, Moira does that. Oh, why can't I do that? What, like, oh, she does that really well. There's no point in me doing that. You know, because comparison can spiral you. And then you're still part of your life purpose, but you're actually challenging yourself. You're giving yourself another challenge that you don't need in life. We've got enough challenges. You know, we've got enough challenges in life. There's not enough hours in the day. Sun comes up when you want it to go away. You know, sometimes in the morning you just want another little hour in bed or whatever. So we've got enough going on around us. So just watch your comparisons, that you're not taking on something else from others and beating yourself up, but even also getting to a self-righteous stage, like, oh, well, Moira does that, well, I do mine better, I speak differently to Moira. Like, if I'm going to sit and get self-righteous, I'm just going to put Moira in the pit, and I'm going to raise my own status, and what happens there is you're looking at ego versus humble, and that's a downward spiral.
It certainly is. Well, because you may be doing that, but it's that's just bad energy.
I know. So be aware of your comparison. I don't think it's a bad thing to not look at comparison. I think it's healthy to look at comparison if you can just, you know, and I know the tip before we talked about ownership, just to own it. Oh, okay, she does that. Wow, I don't do that. Great, move on. Or, oh, she does that. Oh, that's a cool thing. I might try a little bit of that. You know, you don't have to take the 100% of what Moira's doing or Deborah's doing or something, but be aware of that comparison, because that can definitely throw you right out and put you in the pit. Or even your self-righteous can raise your own narcissistic status and self-importance.
Yes, because I'm better than that.
Yeah, because I'm totally better than her.
I like what you just said about that, because the thing, I think, I'm thinking about the title that we've got here. What does it mean to you? And so if we are in a phase of comparison, you know, looking at how another coach does it, how another speaker does it, how another mentor does it, we can look at those things and then say, what does it mean to you? Like, if you see how somebody's doing a presentation or doing a client enrollment call or something of that nature, and you kind of go, oh, I don't do it like that. What does it mean to you? What is it about that that's hooked you? Is it a gift? To me, all of these types of things, anything that hooks you like that is a gift. But then you need to unpack it, because is that the gift to say, you might be wise to do that, and so it's time to implement it, or you're actually already doing it and you're just having an acknowledgement from the universe saying, you know what, you've got this already. Or there's other times too that, in fact, this happened today. Somebody sent me on.
I love the way we talk about something and go, oh, duh, it happened in the last 20. This is me, duh. Oh, it happened in the last 24 hours. Oh, duh, today.
Well, somebody sent me a message, basically wanting to enroll me into a mentorship, like be mentored by somebody. And it was this big, long, and I kind of was reading through between the lines, and I kind of went,
you lost me after the second paragraph.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. And the answer is no. But so there's the comparison, right? Is to kind of look at that objectively and say, what does it mean to me? It means that I won't enroll clients like that. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
And so that is not a self-righteous, and I want to say the word self-righteous, that's not a self-righteous, I'll never do that. I will never be so rude like that. I won't do that. That's disgusting they do that. That's the self-righteous persona.
Yep.
Different to, oh, I won't do that. Spray and
I
walk
won't
away.
do that.
Done.
Yeah, I love that, spray and walk away.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you. To me, it was like, oh, thanks. I just saw how I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and so that's not an a-hole way, is what I want to emphasize. You're just going, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. Done. And move on, instead of, well, I think that's rude. I think that's disrespectful of people's time, you know, and that whole
that's
that narcissistic persona. That's that grand.
It is getting self-righteous and
of your own importance. Yeah, so be aware of that comparison. Definitely be aware of that comparison, but I'm not going to say curb yourself, but just check in. Check in.
And so ask that, what does it mean to you? Like,
oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is that because when you're doing a comparison, there's something that hooked you. Maybe it's the way, maybe it's the content they used, or the tone they used, or the way they did it, or the outfit they've got on. Right?
Yeah, totally. Oh, well, yeah, totally. I remember a guy presenting one time, and he was a speaker, and he apparently was this millionaire speaker, and I went to him and he wore jeans and he had the biggest package in front of him, and I couldn't stop, I was just looking going, why are you wearing jeans, and why are you wearing tight jeans? And I literally for 45 minutes could not hear. Because I'd listened to John DeMartini, who wears a suit, and I was like, why are you wearing jeans, and who dressed you? And I spent the 45 minutes listening to him, looking at his package and having incredible self-righteous. I don't wear jeans on stage. There's nothing wrong with me wearing jeans, and I don't have a package at the front that I'm going to pack into my thing. I'm just going to say that. But I did literally spend 40, and I didn't listen to I was going to say goddamn thing. I didn't listen to a thing he spoke about, because all I was focused on was his package and why he was wearing jeans and who dressed him.
Fascinating. You reminded me of one.
But that's why, because I got myself into such a spiral of that. You got
yourself into a pickle about it.
That I didn't even get to hear anything he said. Don't know what he was going to say. He's probably selling jeans and packages. I don't know,
but you've just reminded me of something that's one of my teachers. Actually, the teacher he was teaching me how to do public speaking, and he always talked about, for women in particular, for us to be very aware of what kind of jewelry that we wore. We didn't want things that were too flashy or clanky, or if that reflected the light, or but because to your point, you could end up having somebody be so fascinated by whatever that bling was that they're not being present to what your content is.
Well, right, that's a perfect one, because I know we talked about ownership, but actually not take on other people's stuff. So if I said to him at the end of it, so it is actually owning yourself, owning your words, owning your body, because I know when we do workshops with Dr. John DeMartini, I don't think it's ever been said, but I'm conscious of my boobs. Like, I've got good boobs. I'm just going to say I've got great boobs. I say that on the podcast. But I'm conscious if I'm leaning over talking to somebody that I don't want, not that my boobs are going to fall right out on the table. I just have to emphasize they're not like that. But I'm conscious I don't want someone to see too much skin or a bra or anything, because they're going to go, what did you say? Or they're going to go, oh, that reminds me of this, and this is what I'm working on, and there's a trigger there. Not that we've ever been told what to wear. Whereas I think that poor old John's probably going, Deborah, I listened to your podcast and you talked about your boobs. Yes, I did, John. And what to wear at your events. But I am conscious of that, of what I wear. Perfumes, bright red lipstick, because I love wearing red lipsticks and perfumes. But at those events, I don't do that because it could be a trigger for somebody. So I'm just more aware of that. Now, that's my signature style, is red lipstick and perfume. Completely that, like that's 100% me. But I'm aware of my surroundings. So I guess it's own who you are, but be aware of your surroundings. I mean, I swear, but if I'm at a school, I don't swear. I'm consciously. And if I'm around old people, I hold it in as much as I could, or I don't even know I'm doing it. So own you, but be aware. Does that make sense?
It completely does, because I actually wrote what I felt you were saying.
Oh, okay, perfect.
As the tip. And so what I wrote here was to find your signature style and live it on purpose, and while being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
That's
exactly it. Exactly it.
Yeah. So to your point, because for me, I'm all about the purple. We all know that. Mine is all about the purple.
Well, if you didn't know that, there's something wrong with you, just for the record. And if you didn't know I like red and gold, there's something wrong with you as well.
That's what on my live sessions on Insight Timer, they all call themselves the Moira's purple people.
It is purple people.
Moira's purple people out there. But there's times where I will wear a different color. I'm not wearing purple. Oh, I always have purple nails though.
Oh no.
I always do that. But no, so the thing is that to your point too, we will speak in certain ways in certain environments, right? I've been known to curse and swear. Not many people hear it though, because I'll
No,
do
well,
it in a specific environment or to a specific type of person.
and
right?
I say it to wake people up sometimes.
Mhm.
You know, that
Yeah.
whole thing is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah, I like that. Define your signature style, live it on purpose. Yeah. But you do. Yeah.
And so, and you know, the thing too is that as we age and grow and develop, you know, I'm thinking as I'm saying that, because my signature style has always been that purple is my favorite color.
Yeah,
But
mine's
I
been
can
red.
but I can think of a time, this would have been probably in my 20s and 30s. I wore black all the time. It was like everything was black. And that was kind of, you know, that's what maybe that was the age I was in, it was the environment I was in for sure. And it was this just a phase that I was going through. So don't do that so much. I'll occasionally do it, you know, the little black dress type idea,
Yeah.
but not as
Yeah.
a standard, that's my signature style type thing. So it's just about staying constant.
Or you're
constant.
evolving, you're
Mhm.
growing and evolving as you move on.
Yes. Yeah.
If
So
that makes sense.
recognizing the evolution of you is,
Yeah.
is part of this, right?
Yeah. So yeah. And I just want to go back, because when we talked about a life purpose, you know, we talked about living life as on purpose and things like that. I just want to go back, and I don't know if this is probably one of the tips going back to, you've always been on your purpose.
Yeah.
So, and it's just the style is tweaked. Just because when you said that black and you've worn black, and you know, now you might wear black on the bottom half.
Yeah.
Or you might just wear, you know, something different.
Mhm.
So for me, when I go, I'm a stressologist. That's my trademarked name. I'm a stressologist. And I think that's pretty simple. That,
Yeah.
but I'm also, you know, also say about myself as I say I'm a performance strategist. So I unpick whatever it is. So if you want to do something, we'll go, okay, what can we do? So when I go back to my jobs, and previously my very first job was a receptionist.
Right.
So, you know, they were going, oh, Deb, we need this. And I'll go, I don't know how you're going to get it. And I'll go, I'll get it. I'll find it. And so you just become the problem solver. So if we looked at all those things, I would say I've been a problem solver all the way through. Because as a receptionist, they go, oh, I'm stuck at the airport. Can you get me back, you know, the flights? Or this person's asked for this. Can you find that? We don't know where to look. You know, and I go back to that. And then the next job I had was working in an office where I was interacting with customers, and I was dealing with complaints, and I was doing incoming and outgoing. So you're problem solving the whole time, you know, you're performance, you're doing that. And then the next job is this, and then the next job is that, you know, and when I look at my life purpose, it's literally been a stressologist of helping people resolve whatever's been going on. Like, oh, I've got this problem. Okay, Deborah, I can fix this. I can fix this, or I can come up with an idea or whatever. And it's been that all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Right from when I was 15.
Yep.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
So
and that's when you
my age
know
now.
that's when you know that you're following it. But it's important too, I think, to pause at different places in your life and do that, because I'm the same way. And I can go all the way back into my childhood, where I've always been a problem solver. In fact, an out of the box problem solver. But not only that, I take complicated, complex ideas, if you like, ideas, patterns, protocols, and translate them. I kind of help and break them down so people understand it. And they kind of go, oh, nobody's ever used those kind of words. So I'm always deciphering and interpreting and making things applicable or understandable. So
Yeah.
so as a young girl doing bookkeeping, that's what I was doing. I was taking profit and loss and explaining it to this what's happening in your business. I was taking complicated journal entries and saying this is how much your business is doing really well or it's not doing so well, and things of that nature. But then also in every role I was ever in, people would gravitate towards me and tell me their own life story and all their problems, and then walk away saying, I feel so much better. I feel so calm now. And sometimes it was just because I listened to them and gave them, a few little tips. Maybe you could do this. Maybe you could think like that. But that's what I'm doing now. This is what I do as a spiritual mentor and guide. That's what I'm doing. It's just like you were talking about the evolution. It's the evolution.
Yeah, it's been tweaked.
Yes.
It's like you've got the core right there, but it's been tweaked every time. So this is what it was, and this is what it was. And
yeah.
This is what, because people go, you're a receptionist. How can that be the same as what you're doing now?
Yeah.
And in fact, I used to always say, oh yeah, I won't say that one.
No. Can't say that one on air, maybe.
No, I won't say that one. I won't say that one. but it is it's just been tweaked.
Yeah. It's been tweaked, and then like I said, it's the beautiful, that's when it just feels really beautifully orchestrated, because it's like, yes, I know my higher self has been navigating all of this all this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly it. And I don't know if that's a tip on its own or not. So maybe the tip is, what does it mean to you? Is go back and look at those jobs you've been doing, and when I say jobs you've been doing, I say jobs, but even when you've been doing them freely.
Mm-hmm.
So I was helping people for free before I got into the paid side of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally, my first client was my hand therapist when I had my accident. And I started talking to her, and she said, oh, I want you to help me with with me and my husband and my child. And then I was like, oh my God, I get paid for this. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't, so it's not just what you're paid for, it's what you were doing freely as well. But if I literally went back and went, oh, there it is there. Oh, there it is there. I laugh about Cooper Pooper Scooper, because my surname's Cooper. Cooper Pooper Scooper is Cooper Pooper Scooper all the way through. She's always fixed other things, not necessarily her own life that great sometimes, but I've been Cooper Pooper scooping all the way through. Such a mess. Cooper Pooper Scooper. Your life purpose, your purpose is right there in front of you and has been. But if you're curious about it, go back and have a look. But don't go back and get yourself on that hamster. Well, no, it's not, Deborah. I don't agree with you and all this. But if Moira and I sat with you, we'd definitely be able to unpack that. But don't get yourself onto that spiral of that.
So one of the things that I think is very beneficial in this context is when I like what you're saying about think back, but also think, what do people say to you that you're so good at? Listen to what other people tell you. People will come to you and say, oh, you're so good at that, or oh, you make this look so easy. Pay attention to those.
That's the one. You're like, what, this thing? Oh, I don't even think about that. Oh, I don't even think
so
about it.
Easy.
I don't even think about it. I just do it. Mm-hmm. Well, some people have to spend hours thinking about it or doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's part of the detectiving part here too, is when people say, oh, wow, you always make it look so easy and so simple. And you're sitting there going, well, it is easy and simple. But there is the gold too. That's you on track with your life purpose. Because then by you showing up and sharing that, you're inspiring other people to think, oh, where am I really good and gifted at? Because we all are. It's not like there's something wrong with me because I can't make a pie like you do. Actually, I make really good pies, by the way. But
she will. And she makes a good seafood chowder. I'm going to come and visit her just for the seafood chowder.
There you go.
Not that I've ever had it, but she's talked about it and I've salivated on the other side of the world when we've talked about it. But you're right, it is those things that come so naturally.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's the key piece. Your life purpose is what comes naturally to you.
Yeah. You don't even think about it. Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is life purpose is like this the animating force that's coming through you. It's not coming. And so that sometimes, and perhaps this is what trips people up, is that they have to work something out in their thinking process.
Yeah, totally.
Going to trip you up and not get you
Well,
there.
that's that hamster wheel, that's that spiral, that's that that's the endless Pac-Man going into your own head.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we know that as soon as we do that, we've lost the game.
You should see my eyes like, oh my God, yes.
It's time to press pause and say, okay, I'm not going to listen to this inner lingo chatter, blah, 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 because it's going to take you off track. It will, guaranteed.
Did we actually talk about, I don't know, out of my tips, did we actually say, you can change it at any time? Did we say that?
No, we didn't.
I don't know if we said that. You can change if you think your life purpose is not what you want it to be, you can change it at any time. If you're in the police force and you decide you want to go be a midwife, I don't know where those two came up. But it's out there now. If you want to, then change it. Don't stay in the police force. Like, you don't have to go, why do I need to change it? Is this, if you want to be a midwife, then go train to be a midwife if you want to leave that. So you can change anything at any time.
I agree with you, but I'd also
you can hear her say, here it comes. Here it comes.
I caution the equation that your life purpose is a role. It's not. So the thing is if my life purpose is to make people feel good about themselves, or to support people to make them feel good about themselves, it actually does not matter.
Actually, your life purpose is not a role. I like that.
It isn't.
Because
and so in your example about the policeman that wants to become a midwife, it's like, well, this isn't the right venue for me to share my gifts or what comes naturally to me type of thing.
Yeah.
Because it is life purpose. And people get this confused oftentimes. My life purpose is to be a teacher. Well, we're all teachers. My life purpose is to be a policeman. Well, we can all be police of our own actions and activities. It's like,
and
it drops
and you're right,
further than that.
It's not a role. And when we go back to where we've been, I've been a Cooper Pooper Scooper all the way through, and it's not a role. You're right. Yeah.
Yes. And that's what I was saying. So it's like, if you feel drawn to change it, it could just be that it's taking you out of alignment with what lights you up, what comes naturally, right?
Well, I wonder where that police to midwife came out. I was like, whoa,
that's an interesting one.
I don't know any midwives. Well, I do know midwives. I do know police, but I haven't had any conversation with them saying I'm going from left to right. But if that happened, you would then go, okay, so what do you love doing in the police? Like, what is it? It's about fulfilling, serving the community and bringing new life to people, or changing ways or something. And it's like, oh, duh, bringing new life to people. What are you going to do to midwife? Bringing new life to people, doesn't to me, duh. But that's exactly it. It's a So what would you call it? Would you call that a feeling, or because if it's not a role,
I would say,
you call that?
I would say it's like it's your life's work, your life's it's your piece in the grand cosmic puzzle that we're all playing. Because in my example that I've often referenced is that if the person's purpose was to make people feel good about themselves, it doesn't matter what role they are in. They could be a greeter at Walmart and make people feel better about themselves just by the way they greeted them. That they could also be the manager of a bank, and same thing. It can make people feel better about themselves by advising them on investments and things of that nature. So that's the thing, is that if you start feeling uncomfortable or discombobulated in a role, it's maybe time to break apart. What are you doing in there that can align with that?
is it an action? Action sounds like such a harsh masculine word, but is
It
it an
is.
action? Because it's like an action, isn't it?
It is like an action, but it's more of it's similar to what you were saying. It's a common thread. It's a common thread throughout all experience.
I've just Googled, I've just thesaurused action. It's an activity, it's a movement, it's an effort, but it's not really, it's a,
But so see, I don't feel
it's a gesture. A gesture. I like the word gesture.
Gesture would be good. But do you see what I mean? It's like, to me, life purpose is more of a thread that animates everything that you do. Or it gives meaning to everything that you do, which actually then allows you to do things that you don't really want to, but it contributes to the fulfillment or the expression of your purpose.
Yeah. Woohoo! We're out of time. I want to keep going because I feel like we've actually just got to the core of it now. I feel like we've literally just got to what it means.
Oops, we might need to do a part 2 of this. Let us know if you want a part 2.
Jinx, that's it. Let us know. Let us know. So let's quickly wrap up because and so our topic was life purpose. What does it mean to you? So if you didn't get your note-taking device, grab it now, because we're going to wrap these up as quick as we can that you understand it. But I do feel we've just scratched the surface on here. Now we're getting deep. So if you would like part 2, let us know, because we'd willingly and happily jump in here and do a part 2. So number 1, we had, I'm actually going to do number 1 because I think you did number 2. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. Yeah. Moira's like, just hurry up, Deborah. Living life is on. Oh yeah. What is the life purpose? What does it mean to you? That's what it was. Yeah, and I think I wrote living life is on purpose.
You said living to the fullest you can be.
You must have said purpose. Did you?
I must have said purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, to the fullest you can be.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yep. Yeah, and I like being okay with every step. We talked about that. Tip number 2 I said was we are living our purpose. So it's not a thing that we have to keep seeking. It's like we are. Yeah. That's what we were getting into, diving deeper into at the end of our conversation.
Just at the end, we started digging into it. Yeah. The next tip is it's on the way, not in the way.
Yeah.
And that's where I mentioned that word trust. Yes. Trust in capitals. And I also talked about when one door shuts, a window opens.
I like that. And I like the window of opportunity. That was a good one.
Yes. I like that a little bit. So just knowing that it's on the way, not in the way, is a real, just those little words. Oh, this is on the way. Yeah. And then it goes back to that trust. I trust.
Yeah. It's always one of my favorites. I really like that one.
Yeah.
The next one I've got here is about taking ownership for your journey, your life journey. It's about self-mastery, self-responsibility. Everything is about the self. So what it means to you is going to be different to everyone. And so it's about really stepping into, what does that mean? Responsibility is the ability to respond to everything around you. And so that's how we all enjoy the journey. We take ownership for it. And this is us stepping through it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love these tips. I like these ones. The next one I wrote down was comparison. And then I wrote alongside that, what does it mean to you? So it's okay to compare, but not get on the spiral of comparing, if that makes sense. So don't just go, she does that, I don't do that, that whole self-righteous, self-righteous persona or whatever. So just go, oh, Moira does that. Oh, that's interesting. That's it. And then go, oh, I'm going to try a little bit of that, or I'm not going to try that. Not, oh, Moira does that. Why does she do it that way? That's pretty disgusting. I'd never do it that way. Then you just grandstanding yourself. So
so getting way too caught in the blah 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 that comes out of your head.
Yeah, definitely. So comparison can be healthy, but it can also be a detriment to your health. So it's just like, oh, okay, I see that. And I know we talked about ownership before. I see that. Funny. Move on.
Yeah.
That's it. Done.
So that was
Yeah.
the invitation I said is what's hooking you, and what can you learn about it? Talked about that. The next one I wrote down here was when Deb was talking about her style. And I wrote down here, find your signature style and live it on purpose, but be aware of your surroundings. So you can tweak and change according to your surroundings, but that is a huge component of life purposes. What's your signature style? And be confident and comfortable and at ease with sharing it, spraying it around, right?
Yeah. Perfect. And that is that being comfortable.
Yeah.
And spraying it around. Yeah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I've got your purposes here.
Mm-hmm.
And your purpose has always been with you. And I used it, it's just been tweaked. I had the word tweaked. And Moira mentioned the word detective, and I quite like that. So be a detective and just record not necessarily voice record when I say record, but jot down and go, okay, what was my last job I did? What was my last job I did prior to that?
Yeah. And
be that detective and just do a little digging, but don't get into the spiral hamster of detective work on this. But have a look. But also when you're recording it, don't get yourself into the spiral. Oh, well, I didn't do that. No. And be aware of what you gave away for free. Like, oh, this was my job, but I also did this with ease. So I guess it's what you do with grace and ease, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
naturally.
But check it out.
Naturally.
That's it, not forced.
Yeah, because that's the next tip I have here is my suggestion was to listen to what others say that you're good at, and you added in there what comes naturally. Like where, somebody says, oh, wow, you're so good at that, or you're always this. And you think, oh, but it was so easy. Or, oh, doesn't everybody do that?
Oh, don't everyone? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I thought everybody talked like this or did it like this.
Yeah.
So what comes naturally? And when you get that, what comes naturally, when you're doing that detectiving piece, you may see the theme. In both Deb and I shared our own stories that we could actually I can look right back into my teenage years and tell you all the way through. There's the common
100%
that's coming naturally to me.
100%. I can see it. But we've done the time to look at that just because we've been curious. I didn't even know how it came up, but yeah, we have definitely both done that over our time.
It's because one of my certifications is I'm a life purpose guide.
Of course you are. Oh my gosh, of course you are. I'm
I just
rolling
had
my eyes, looking the other way.
PS. Deb's rolling her eyes now.
Of course you are. Okay. Of course you are.
Laugh at that.
So she tells me that at the very end of everything. I could have just listened to her give all the tips. She goes, oh, by the way, this is what I'm a certified. Yeah, of course you are. Of course. But of course. I love the way she just sprinkles that out there by then. And you know what? If I was affected by that, I would have gone into that comparison. And I did joke about, what was the purpose of me even having this podcast? You could have done it on your own. But
she didn't really mean it that though.
No, definitely not. But that's the stuff, and that's the stuff like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you that. I'm like, of course, doesn't surprise me. And of course you save it to the end. But I guarantee not one time in this whole conversation, and even when it came to the topic, that you thought, oh, I'm going to drop this one in here. Not once. No. Because that's a self-righteous persona, and that's not what this. Oh, by the way, did I ever tell you, Deborah, that I'm actually a certified? Of course, it doesn't surprise me.
And it just came naturally, you see.
Definitely. But that's the stuff that, because it's so natural, it's like, oh, this is what it is. So the other thing I've got is your life purpose. And Moira actually said it, life purpose isn't a role. And that's where I talked about the policeman to midwife. Now, if you're a policeman and you go into midwife, great. Or policeman. Do you say policeman or policewoman or police person? What do you say nowadays?
I think we say policeman. But
I say policeman, but is that? I don't know if it's PP. I'm not worried about it. Good luck, Deborah, trying to be PC sometimes. So your police person going to a mid, and can you say midwife? Because what if you're a man? Oh, do they have men midwives?
I don't know. It's midwifery, so it's that's a term of it.
Oh well, there. Look, that we're not even doing that. We're not even doing about. Let's not ever do a podcast on PC.
No,
because
I don't think that would go well here.
I think it would. I think it would probably be the biggest listener ever. We're not doing it, people. Just so you know, they should throw us a lot of money. I'll do it for a lot of money. Give me the money. Show me the money. I'll do that. But your life purpose isn't a role. Yeah. And that's what I talked about from that police to midwife. Yeah. You know, it's actually, but we did actually, oh no, that's right. That's when you said it's the thread.
Yeah, that connects all the different experiences.
Everything.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, shoot, that's me. That's it. Anything else you want to add?
Well, the one, and I didn't sort of reference it on the way by, is the reminder that we are all sculptors freeing the beauty or the gem that's already there. I talked about that quote from that sculptor, and I can't remember who it was. It was a famous historical sculptor that said that. How do you make these beautiful, beautiful works of art from a big hunk of stone? And he says, well, but it was already there. My job was to chip away the pieces that didn't belong to the beauty of it. And so
that beautiful?
That's what I know. I really like that. And that's what I say. That's what our life experience is, right?
That sums it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sums it up. And the thread that everything you do, it just sums it up that it's always there.
Yeah.
We've just chipped away at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So if you would love an episode 2, now that we actually have a certified life purpose on the other end of the podcast, if you'd love to have a level 2 and another part on this, then let us know, because I'm more than willing to go there on this, because I feel we've only really touched the surface.
Yeah. I think there's so much more we could do with this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Totally. So if you like this, clearly we definitely want you to do this. So if you like this, love this, giggled through this, enjoyed it, whatever you'd like to call it, the next step is to actually share it and generate a conversation with those around the life purpose and what it means to them. Now, everyone wants to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. You don't have to agree with them, but just listen to them and then throw them into this podcast. Let them listen to the podcast and generate that another level of conversation. So we would love you to do that. But the finale thing we're doing is we're checking in. We did our PEMS, our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual check-in at the start. So we're now just going to check in again. What were you?
I was a 1. We were both 1.
We were both 1?
Both 1.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Well, I don't even know where I was at. I'm a 0. What are you?
I'm certainly a 0.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I could have said I was a 5, and I'm definitely a 0. So let us know where you were at the start, in the middle, and the end, and what you loved about this today.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. So this is our deliciously motivated mindset conversation with Debz and Moira, and we are signing off for the day. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you to the internet. Thank you to Moira, clearly. And we will, you'll hear us next time on our next podcast, whenever that will be.
Definitely. Thank you, Debz.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.